Welcome to Reality Rewire, presented by the Wisdom Network. We're here to explore the tools, practices, and healing modalities that create real transformation from the inside out. And today we have a special message from one of the practitioners from the Wisdom Network. And here's what they have to
I
say.
want you to just imagine something for a second. You're standing on the edge of a dock, looking down at a completely calm, ordinary lake.
It's a beautiful day out, right?
Yeah, totally beautiful. But instead of feeling peaceful, your heart is suddenly just hammering against your ribs. Your palms are sweating, and you're gripped by this bone-deep, completely inexplicable terror of that dark water.
And here's the catch, you've never actually drowned.
Right. You've never even had a minor scare at a pool in this lifetime. Absolutely nothing in your current reality explains this panic.
But the fear is undeniable.
Mhm.
It's ancient, and it makes zero sense to your conscious mind.
Exactly. It's a massive disconnect. Your brain is looking at the environment saying, it's just a lake. You're perfectly safe.
But your nervous system is absolutely screaming, this is lethal, we're in imminent danger right now.
And that profound disconnect is the exact mission of today's deep dive. We are exploring the established fundamental reality of past lives, soul memory, and karma.
We're going to reveal how your most stubborn fears, your chronic physical pains, and those toxic relationship patterns you just can't seem to shake are actually the direct results of past life trauma.
It fundamentally changes how you view your own suffering, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You begin to realize that your mind and body aren't malfunctioning at all. They're simply remembering.
And to be clear, right from the start, the foundation driving today's deep dive doesn't rely on earthly documentation or research studies or, academic texts.
No, not at all. We're drawing directly from foundational metaphysical truths, the absolute energetic principles that govern the soul's eternal history.
All right, we're looking at the pure, definitive mechanics of reality itself. Okay, let's unpack this. Before we can diagnose what's happening to you today, we have to establish the actual architecture of your existence.
We have to look at where you were before you even got here.
Because you didn't just, blink into existence on your birthday.
Exactly. That's the crucial starting point. The soul is eternal. It existed long before your current physical body was formed, and it's going to exist long after.
So it's not just a random lottery draw that you're here.
Far from it. The soul intentionally chose this specific lifetime as a highly structured curriculum. It actually selected your family, your cultural environment, and the exact challenges you face.
Wow. To facilitate its own growth, right?
Yes, and to resolve what was left incomplete in previous lifetimes.
I'm trying to wrap my head around the logistics of that. Before I'm born, when I'm just existing as a soul, what does that actually look like? Where is all this planning happening?
Well, between these physical lifetimes, the soul exists in a non-physical state of pure frequency.
Like a waiting room.
More like a space of pure awareness. The soul reviews the lessons of the life it just completed. It rests, it integrates that experience, and it prepares the blueprint for the next phase of its curriculum.
Okay, so during this between-life state, the soul retains specific energetic imprints from its previous incarnations, right?
Yes, exactly. Unresolved wounds, acquired wisdom, ancient vows, karmic patterns, all of these are encoded directly into your new energetic body.
Long before your physical body even begins to form in the womb. I was thinking about this, and the best way I can describe it is, it's like getting a brand new smartphone and downloading your backup from the cloud.
Oh, that's a brilliant way to put it.
Yeah, because the hardware is pristine, the screen doesn't have a single scratch on it, but the moment you turn it on and sync your account, all your old apps, your saved messages, and unfortunately, all the old software glitches and corrupted data are already installed and running in the background.
What's fascinating here is how perfectly that illustrates the actual mechanism of soul memory. The new physical body is simply the hardware. The soul is the operating system.
And it doesn't forget a single line of code.
It never forgets.
Yeah.
It brings its entire history forward. And if there's unresolved business like a trauma that was never fully processed or a vow that was never officially released, the soul will persistently bring it into your current reality.
So it will just keep manifesting that old glitch in whatever form is necessary.
Exactly, until it finally gets your attention and you clear the code.
But if my soul has all this heavy baggage, why doesn't it just give me a clear, conscious memory of the past life event? Like, instead of giving me a panic attack in an elevator, why not just show me the memory? Why the disguise?
Because the physical brain you have right now is brand new. It doesn't contain the memories of the 14th century, It only contains the memories of your current life.
Oh, right. But the energetic body holds everything.
Yes, and the energetic body interfaces directly with your central nervous system. So a past life wound will almost always masquerade as a present-day problem.
But there's a definitive signature that gives it away, isn't there?
There is disproportionality and inexplicability. When your emotional or physical reaction to a situation is wildly out of proportion to the actual trigger.
And when there's absolutely nothing in your current life history to explain it.
Precisely. That is the soul speaking. That's the energetic imprint of something much older pushing its way through the veil.
Let's get into the specifics of how that bleed-through actually manifests, starting with irrational fears. Phobias are a massive indicator.
They really are.
Say someone has an intense, paralyzing fear of fire, but they've never so much as burned a finger on a stove in this life. That traces directly back to a past life, death by burning.
Frequently connected to witch trials or wartime persecution. Yeah.
And that fear of deep water we talked about at the beginning, that's the exact energetic imprint of a past life drowning. Claustrophobia is the direct energetic memory of being buried alive or imprisoned in a tiny space.
Because the physical body you inhabit right now serves the soul. It acts as the canvas for the soul's experiences.
So when you encounter a modern-day trigger, like stepping into an enclosed elevator or smelling a campfire,
Your body's alarm bells ring as though the original fatal past life threat is actively happening in real time.
wait, so when someone has a full-blown panic attack about heights, their nervous system isn't just like making things up or overreacting, it's actually accurately remembering a fatal fall.
Accurately remembering, yes. The nervous system is operating on perfectly accurate memory data. It's just referencing a different timeline.
That is wild.
The danger was incredibly real back then, and the body's self-preservation instinct is trying to protect you from experiencing that agonizing impact again. It's doing its job perfectly, just based on an outdated timeline.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because the body doesn't just produce adrenaline and fear. It actually holds precise physical imprints of these past life events.
Oh, literal chronic physical symptoms that just completely confound doctors.
Right. Someone might suffer from chronic neck pain or a severe tightness in their throat that absolutely defies medical explanation. Scans show nothing. Yet that physical sensation traces directly to a past life, death by hanging or strangulation.
Or someone having inexplicable chronic chest pain that points straight to the energetic imprint of an arrow wound, or being stabbed or crushed in a previous incarnation.
And we see this manifested vividly on the skin itself, don't we?
We do. Unusual birthmarks, particularly those in strange locations, lacking pigmentation or forming really odd shapes, correspond precisely to fatal wounds from a past incarnation.
So the energetic trauma at the moment of death was so intensely magnified that it patterned itself directly onto the new physical hardware as it formed in the womb.
The body is quite literally mapping the soul's history for you to see. It's the scar tissue of the soul.
We absolutely must look at soul vows. These are commitments made in past lives, often under extreme duress or intense religious conviction, that continue to bind your energy today.
Because energy doesn't degrade over time unless it's intentionally acted upon.
Which explains so much about modern-day struggles, like a vow of poverty made during a monastic lifetime centuries ago. You made that vow sincerely back then because material wealth was considered corrupting.
Right, it served a purpose then.
But now, in this lifetime, you can't figure out why you constantly sabotage your finances, or why your car invariably needs a massive repair the minute you finally save $1,000.
It's because that ancient vow is still active in your energetic blueprint, intentionally blocking your prosperity to keep you, quote-unquote, pure.
Or consider a vow of celibacy, which will actively block intimacy and the ability to receive deep affection in your current relationships.
Or a vow of silence. If you took a vow of silence under threat of persecution where speaking your truth literally led to your execution, you will carry that into this life.
And that shows up as chronic throat issues, severe social anxiety, and an intense, paralyzing fear of being visible or speaking up in a simple meeting.
It's incredibly liberating when you really absorb this. You realize that your recurring relationship issues or your financial struggles aren't character flaws or personal failures.
No, they're ancient homework assignments. You're just carrying out an old contract.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the beauty of karma as a system of completion is that it's entirely solvable. When a karmic pattern is finally recognized and healed, the curriculum is complete.
The lesson is integrated.
And when that happens, the external situation naturally, effortlessly stops appearing in your life. You stop attracting that type of toxic partner. The financial block dissolves. The universe no longer needs to send you the test because you've already passed it.
Now that you understand you're carrying these ancient fears, these fatal wounds, and these restrictive vows, how do you actually access and clear this energy?
Because we aren't just here to diagnose the past,
Wait
right?
till we're going back to heal forward.
The most direct method is past life regression, typically utilizing hypnosis. The reason this works is that it induces a theta brainwave state.
Because the conscious analytical mind operates in a beta brainwave state, right? It's highly critical, skeptical, and focused on the present moment.
Exactly. By shifting the brain into a theta frequency, you successfully bypass the conscious mind's analytical filters. You access the soul's deeper hard drive directly.
So during a regression, your awareness is guided backward through time to revisit the specific origin of the wound.
Yes.
But if the goal is to heal, why do we have to go back to the exact moment of death? That sounds like re-traumatizing the nervous system, not healing it. How is that safe?
Because you're not revisiting the death to suffer. You're revisiting it to process the trapped emotions that couldn't be processed in that chaotic, agonizing final moment.
Oh, I see. When a past life ends in sudden violence or terror, the soul leaves the body in a state of shock.
And that shock freezes the energy. By witnessing the event now from a safe state of expanded awareness, you thaw that frozen energy. You release the terror or the grief that got locked in the energetic field right as the physical body expired.
You're basically unpausing the emotional processing that was interrupted centuries ago.
Perfectly said.
But regression isn't the only way. There's also direct energy healing. Shamanic practitioners, for instance, perform soul retrievals. The understanding here is that during a highly traumatic past life death, parts of the soul's essence fragment and are left behind in that specific timeline.
And a soul retrieval actively reclaims those lost, fragmented parts and integrates them back into your current energetic body, restoring your full power.
Furthermore, highly attuned energy healers can directly clear the residue of past life trauma from your chakras or sever the energetic cords binding you to old karmic relationships.
Hold on, before we talk about clearing chakras or cutting cords, what exactly is that energetic residue? How does a healer actually remove something from my energy field if I don't even consciously remember the trauma?
Well, energetic residue is essentially a low-frequency vibration lodged in your larger electromagnetic field. Think of it like a discordant note playing continuously in the background of a beautiful symphony.
So you don't need to consciously remember the 16th century trauma for the vibration to be present?
Exactly. An energy healer simply tunes into your field, identifies the discordant frequency, and uses higher frequency energy to disrupt and neutralize it. They cut the energetic cord by dissolving the dense vibrational attachment, linking you to another soul.
Completely freeing your current reality from that historical drag.
Self-recognition is huge. If you have an intense, inexplicable nostalgia for a specific era like Victorian England or ancient Egypt, that's your soul recognizing its old home.
Or natural mastery. When a 5-year-old child sits at a piano and instantly plays a complex piece, or someone picks up a foreign language effortlessly without studying, that's not a party trick.
No, that's the soul's accumulated centuries-old mastery coming through entirely intact.
And we must mention the role of sleep. Vivid, highly literal, recurring dreams where you're inhabiting a different body, living in a different era, with precise historical details you've never studied. These aren't symbolic messages from your subconscious.
They're literal memories.
The soul is actively processing its past life material, while the conscious mind is powered down for the night.
One of the most empowering things you can do on your own right now is practice vow releases. It's as simple as sitting quietly, identifying a persistent block in your life, and speaking the release aloud.
Yes, simply declaring, I acknowledge the vow of poverty I made in a past life. I honor its purpose then, but I consciously release it now as it no longer serves my path.
And the reason vocalizing it is mandatory is because sound is a physical vibration. When you combine your conscious, sovereign intent with the acoustic vibration of your voice, you're literally disrupting the frequency of that old energetic contract.
You are shattering the invisible structure of the vow.
So what does this all mean? It means your struggles have an origin point, and because they have an origin point, they have an expiration date. You hold the ultimate authority to clear them.
This raises an important question. What unhealed past life patterns might you be actively feeding right now through your reactions and choices?
It's vital to reflect on this.
Because healing is never isolated. Every genuine healing you accomplish today ripples backward through your entire soul lineage, resolving the trauma of those past iterations.
And simultaneously, it ripples forward, freeing all of your future incarnations from ever having to carry that heavy burden again. You're literally altering the trajectory of your soul's eternity.
It fundamentally changes how you view yourself. You aren't just a person with a few decades of personal history. You're an ancient soul with a vast, sweeping history.
The irrational fears, the chronic pains, the agonizing relationship struggles, they're all direct mechanical results of that history. But by recognizing them for what they truly are, you step into the immense power to heal them completely.
And as you reflect on all of this, consider one final reality. We've focused intensely on healing past life wounds, clearing trauma, and releasing restrictive vows.
Yeah.
But the soul's history isn't just a ledger of pain and debt.
It's a massive treasury.
Exactly. If your soul has lived countless times navigating different cultures, eras, and challenges, it has also mastered profound skills across those centuries. So the question becomes, what dormant genius, what profound ancient ability is sitting quietly in your energetic field right now, just waiting for you to remember it?
The next time you find yourself standing by that deep, dark water, feeling that ancient terror rise up in your chest, remember, it's not the water you're afraid of. It's simply a memory, and memories can be healed.
If anything in today's episode stirred something in you, that's a sign. And if you are ready to stop doing this alone, we have an incredible community of healers, spiritual life coaches, and hypnotherapists at the Wisdom Network who are ready to meet you exactly where you are and take you somewhere completely new. That's right. Head over to thewisdomnetwork.net, find your practitioner, and take that powerful leap forward. We'll see you in the next episode.